Most of those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But if you truly
unbox my latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year, and I'm really excited about it.
Who is the Chinese supplier behind product? Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years. And it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
Spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags.
Hermès is in full panic mode right now. The luxury giant just got exposed, and now they're firing off lawsuits like their empire depends on it. Because maybe it does. The targets? Not some shady knockoff crews, but their own Chinese factories. Yep, the same ones that have been secretly making those 20,000 plus Birkin and Kelly bags behind the scenes. These manufacturers aren't out here faking it. They're the real deal. They've been stitching up the very bags Hermès slaps with made in France tags and sells as exclusive handcrafted luxury. But now, they're done keeping quiet. Leaked documents, viral TikToks, and insider confessions are spilling the tea all over the internet.
Most of those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But if you truly...
Turns out, those polished luxury vibes might have been smoke and mirrors. From sneaky shortcuts in production to questionable labeling, the whole facade is crumbling fast. Hermès is scrambling to clean up the mess, but it might be too little, too late. The cracks in the high-end fashion world just got way too big to ignore. Let's break it all down. This scandal really started with one giant lie. The fantasy Hermès has been selling for years. That every bag is delicately handcrafted by elite French artisans in dreamy Parisian ateliers. But now, that image is getting ripped to shreds, and the truth ain't looking good. Sounds all luxurious and high-end, right? But here's the real spill. New reports just dropped, and the receipts are wild.
Spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags.
Turns out, up to 80% of those iconic Hermès bags aren't even made in France like they claim. Nope, they're being fully produced in China. Every step from cutting the leather to stitching and threading. We're talking start to finish, all going down far from the Parisian fantasy Hermès sells. Then, when the bags finally get shipped over to France, Hermès allegedly adds a bit of hardware, maybe a stamp or two, and boom, made in France. Technically true? Maybe. But come on, that's barely even a French touch. And now that these Chinese factories are done staying quiet and dropping real receipts, Hermès is losing it behind closed doors. And now, let's talk about Tanner Leatherstein. Yeah, that dude luxury brands probably wish would vanish, but he's not some internet troll clout-chasing drama. He's a straight-up leather pro with a big following, and his whole thing, buying designer bags and slicing them open on camera, literally.
Who is the Chinese supplier behind product? Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years. And it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
He shows the truth hidden inside those $1,000 bags, layer by layer. And what he's uncovering? It's making the luxury world very nervous. Tanner's been out here pulling the curtain back on these so-called luxury brands for a while now. He was the first to drag Chanel for ditching real gold hardware and using what he called plastic-coated leather that ain't much better than cheap knockoffs. He's gone after Louis Vuitton, Bottega Veneta, and yep, Hermès too. According to Tanner, the leather in some of these high-end bags isn't far off from what you'd find in a $100 dupe from the mall. And here's the jaw-dropper. He broke down that making a Birkin bag only costs around $600. That includes legit leather and solid hardware.
Unbox my latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
So where's the rest of that $20,000 price tag going, huh? Now picture Hermès watching all this chaos unfold, viral videos, nonstop chatter online, and the truth spreading faster than they can shut it down. And the craziest part? Those Chinese factories weren't even faking it. They were allegedly making the real deal for Hermès. And then they flipped the script and aired everything out. Word on the street is, Hermès is now throwing around legal threats, trying to sue these factories for intellectual property and defamation. But let's be real, it's looking less like brand protection and more like straight-up damage control. This wasn't supposed to hit the public eye, and now they're in deep, trying to clean it up. Hermès raked in a whopping $15.2 billion in revenue in 2024. That's serious cash. But here's the part that's got everyone side-eyeing. If it supposedly takes 2 full days to handcraft just one Birkin bag, then where's this secret army of French artisans quietly grinding 24/7? Because the math ain't mathin', something's way off. And it's not just Hermès pulling this slick move. Prada, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, they're all in on it. These brands will make most of the product, like 98%, in China. Then they'll slap on a zipper or stitch a button in Italy just to legally toss on that Made in Italy tag. Wild, right? It's straight up marketing smoke and mirrors, and people fall for it because European labels still carry that luxury clout. But behind the velvet curtain, it's looking more like a super expensive scam. Now that folks are waking up, resale prices are starting to drop. People are realizing they dropped $25,000 on a bag that might have come out of the same factory as a $400 dupe. And that's got collectors shook. And Tanner? He's been showing the receipts, literally cutting open bags that claim to be full calfskin, only to reveal they're made with cheap PU-coated leather instead. That's plastic, not prestige. Buyers are getting mad, real mad. Because if Hermès ain't really about top-tier materials or elite craftsmanship, then what exactly are people paying all that money for? Prestige? A name? A dream? Scan now? Even loyal Hermès stans are starting to question everything. People who've waited years on those infamous Birkin waitlists are realizing they might have just dropped tens of thousands on a bag that ain't even what it claims to be. That whole exclusivity vibe, starting to look more like smoke and strategy than real scarcity. Insiders are whispering that some of these wait lists were just tools to hype the hype, fake demand to keep the brand looking untouchable. Meanwhile, factories overseas were allegedly pumping out bags non-stop, while Hermès pretended they couldn't keep up with demand. Talk about a luxury illusion. And the scandal doesn't stop at just where the bags are made. It's what's going in them too. Reports say some of the hardware isn't even solid metal like buyers expect. It's lightweight filler stuff, coated to look expensive, but nowhere near worth what folks are paying. That's why Tanner's clips hit so hard. When he breaks those bags down on camera, you see the truth. Thin leather, weak linings, cheap finishes. It's not what people thought they were buying. Collectors are panicking, fashionistas feel betrayed, and new buyers are hesitant. The resale market's already reacting, with certain bag values dropping fast. If this keeps going, it could wreck the whole resale game that luxury fashion has leaned on for years. So now the real question is, how deep does this go? And if Hermès built its empire on this image, what happens when the image shatters? And guess who else is catching heat now? The influencers and celebs who've been flaunting these bags like trophies? People are calling them out, saying they helped sell the fantasy, knowing full well they were getting gifted or fast-tracked, while everyday folks were being strung along with fake waitlists and false promises. Some insiders even claim a few influencers were handed early versions of the Chinese-made bags to show off online before they were officially launched. So while fans thought they were seeing next-level French craftsmanship, they were actually being fed a curated illusion. Now some of those same influencers are turning silent, deleting posts, dodging comments, acting like they had no idea. Yeah, right. And it's not just bags. Whispers are spreading about accessories too. Scarves, belts, even shoes. All possibly being manufactured with the same tactic. Make it in China, tweak it in Europe, label it luxury. It's shaking the core of what people thought luxury meant. Meanwhile, Hermès has gone quiet. No big press release, no public denial, just a whole lot of no comment. But the internet isn't waiting for them to speak. Receipts are flooding Reddit, TikTok, and fashion forums. People are connecting dots, pulling up old interviews and asking, how long has this been going on? This might be more than just a scandal. it's starting to look like a full-on luxury industry reckoning. It's never been about the bag. It's always been about the brand name and the illusion they sold us. For years, Western luxury brands pushed the idea that made in China meant cheap and low quality. But that's straight outdated thinking. Chinese factories today are on a whole different level. They've got the top-tier machines, skilled workers, and premium materials to make world-class leather goods. No cap. Truth is, a lot of these luxury labels are getting their products made in the same factories as mid-tier brands and even high-quality dupes. The only real difference? That little label they stick on at the end? That's it. The rest? Just branding smoke and mirrors. Western media has brainwashed people into thinking made in Europe means superior. But take a closer look, and it's all just slick marketing. These brands aren't preserving craftsmanship. They're corporate machines, owned by private equity firms, pushing overpriced goods on folks who don't know what's really going on. And now that the curtain's being pulled back, the whole industry's sweating. And guess who lit the match? Tanner Leatherstein. This dude isn't pushing a product, he ain't selling hype. He's just breaking it down, piece by piece, literally. He even sliced open his own $1,800 designer wallet collection just to show what's inside. And what did he find? Letdowns. Thin leather, cheap linings, and way less quality than what folks were promised. Over and over again. It's the same story. Let's be real. Luxury isn't looking so luxurious anymore. Let's keep it real. These designer brands wouldn't be where they are today without celebs flexing their bags like trophies. You really think they're out here dropping $60,000 on Birkins and Chanels just for fun? Nah. Most of the time, those bags are gifted or they're straight up getting paid to rock them. It's all part of the master plan. Here's how it goes. Hermès sends Kim Kardashian a $60,000 bag. She posts it on Instagram. Boom! Next thing you know, influencers and fashion addicts everywhere are scrambling to get one, thinking it's the ultimate flex. You're not just buying a bag, you're buying that celebrity stamp of approval. And now it's not just A-listers doing the marketing. Influencers are deep in the game too. TikTok and Instagram are packed with unboxings and luxury hauls. But here's the catch. Most of those bags, they didn't buy them. They're PR drops, paid collabs, or part of brand deals. These creators are making serious bank-pushing bags they didn't even spend a dime on, just selling you the fantasy. They're feeding you this idea that if you don't own a designer bag, you're nobody. That you need a Birkin to matter. And speaking of Birkins, let's talk about that hustle. You can't just walk into a Hermès store and buy one. Nope. You gotta earn your way in by dropping thousands on scarves, belts, shoes, whatever they throw at you, before they maybe offer you the chance to buy a Birkin. It's not about luxury. It's about power moves, gatekeeping, and flex culture turned into a business model. Let's be real. This ain't luxury anymore. It's starting to look more like a VIP club with a fat entry fee. And somehow, people are still desperate to get in. But here's the kicker. Things are falling apart fast. Remember when folks were flipping Birkins like real estate? Back then, buying one felt like securing an investment. But now, after Tanner's bag dissections and those factory leaks, the resale market is crashing. Prices are dropping. Confidence is shaking. And that so-called exclusivity is looking more like a big old marketing gimmick. If the quality's in question, and the bags are allegedly coming from the same factories as dupes, why would anyone keep paying 5 figures for one? People are waking up, and some are panicking. Resellers who used to treat these bags like gold are suddenly sweating, and investors who treated Hermès bags like luxury stocks? They're starting to realize the game might have been rigged from the jump. This isn't just a fashion drama anymore. This is a financial fallout waiting to explode, and the timing couldn't be worse. With the US slapping heavy tariffs on Chinese imports, global brands are being forced to show their cards. Now the smoke is clearing, and Hermès is looking real exposed. When most of your so-called French craftsmanship actually comes out of factories in Shenzhen, yeah, that's a serious PR nightmare. The illusion is breaking, and the whole luxury world's watching it go down. And it's not just Hermès sweating bullets right now. Other big-name luxury houses are watching this unfold like it's a horror movie they're starring in next. Because if Hermès, the gold standard of high fashion, can get exposed like this, who's really safe? You think Chanel, Dior, or Gucci want to be next in line? Absolutely not. Behind the scenes, word is these brands are already scrambling, tightening NDAs, reworking supplier contracts, and even ghosting past factory partners to cover their tracks. Some are even trying to quietly shift production back to Europe, just in case the heat turns their way. But here's the problem. It's too late. The public's eyes are open now, and folks are digging deeper than ever before. Fashion forums are buzzing. TikTok investigators are breaking down stitching patterns, comparing labels, exposing factory tags. Regular people are turning into luxury detectives. And every time someone finds a detail that doesn't line up, it's going viral. What used to be an untouchable industry built on mystery and exclusivity is now under a microscope. And the brands that used to thrive on secrecy, they're panicking because the game has changed. If consumers start demanding transparency, real quality, and honest pricing, this whole luxury system could flip upside down. Because when the illusion dies, so does the markup. And right now, that illusion is cracking fast. One exposed seam at a time. Whoa! This whole thing is a straight-up mess. And the internet? Oh, they're loving it. Fans are dragging Hermès all over social media right now. People are flooding the comments saying things like, wait, I can get the same exact bag from China for $1,500? Not the $38,000 they're charging in the US? The delusion is getting exposed, and folks are fed up. One user said, I'm sorry, but this trade war and these factory receipts got me looking at all these luxury brands sideways. Another wrote, even Birkins are made in China? Capitalism is wild. People are finally seeing past the glitter and hype. And now the real question hitting everybody, if it's made in China for pennies on the dollar, does it still count as luxury? That illusion of elite French craftsmanship, shattered, and the tea that Chinese insiders are spilling, it's next level. One commenter said it best. Imagine paying $38,000 for a Birkin that costs $1,400 to make. Chanel charging $5,000 for a bag made in China for $50? Insanity. The vibe online is pure chaos, but also kind of satisfying. Folks are calling it luxury's karma moment. The secrets are out. The brand walls are crumbling. And the gatekeeping? Yeah, that ain't working anymore. Now let's be real. Would you still drop $30,000 on a Birkin after all this? Let me know in the comments. And if you're not already deep in this rabbit hole, buckle up. You're gonna want to check out what's coming next. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you were into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, share with your people, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one, because it's about to be even wilder. See you on the next one.